Our main goal here, if you look at Ohio Department of Education, they have 8 typology groups. If you break it down on an expenditure per pupil in each typology, you can see a vast difference from wealthy suburbans to maybe poor rural areas, or even small town rural areas. What we're trying to do is bring the bottom level up. We want to ensure that every child, basically we're providing core funding level to allow all schools to be competitive. That is the thrust behind this. We don't have any thought of this ever being equal in the expenditure per pupil. I don't expect it to be even, but I do expect it to be adequate. And I think that's the goal behind this. This does include $179 million in additional money to the foundation formula. We maintain a lot of the principles that the governor had in the K-12 funding proposal that he had. We did make several revisions, one of which is we restored the 20 mil charge-off. This is an expected local contribution, so the charge-off helps direct resources to lower wealth districts. We're kind of changing the distribution when you look at the per pupil expenditure, and raise the lower piece, like I mentioned, and distribute it a little bit more equitably across that group. We also phase in a guarantee that no district will receive less per pupil than is provided through state resources to private schools. So this only affects a small number of districts. I believe it's 28, but the 28 that are below what's just under the $1,200 per pupil number will phase this in. So the first budget will get them halfway to that 1,200 mark, and with the idea that we'll hopefully be able to complete that in the future and get them up to a minimum fair funding level. We also, and this kind of gets into higher ed, but we doubled the college credit earmark in foundation funding as well. Just a few high spots on a few other areas. We require all colleges participating in College Credit Plus program to offer an associate degree pathway. This would allow high school students to participate in College Credit Plus programs to graduate high school with an associate's degree for those that offer that. It also increases the funding to the Ohio College Opportunity Grant, or OCOG, by $5 million per year. We have heard a lot of testimony how that important that was to a lot of students. A few other significant items that maybe aren't quite as related, but one I think is important. It works to implement a strategic plan to focus university strengths for support future missions for Wright-Patterson Air Force Base and NASA Glenn Research Center. We increased the public library funds 1.66 to 1.7% of GRF. We increased. We put $12 million in the Indigent Defense Fund for the local government. Did a fair amount of things for veterans. I'll just mention one. We earmarked $750,000 for the Ohio League Aid Fund per year to help provide representation for economically disadvantaged veterans. And I could keep going, but I'm sure there's probably a few questions that people have to ask. So.